Most men won't hear this truth until it's too late. You are the prize, not her. That might make you nod your head, or it might make you furious. Either way, you need to hear what comes next. Because right now, countless men are silently losing the power in their relationships. They bend, they chase, they compromise. And in the end, they're left drained, wondering why respect and attraction slowly disappeared. Here's the ugly truth. Men are being conditioned to forget who they are. Society tells you she's the prize. Movies show you the desperate man chasing the perfect girl. The world wants you obedient, needy, and replaceable. But ask yourself, if she truly held all the power, why do so many women complain about not finding good men? Why are dating apps filled with women chasing validation while men get blamed for wanting standards? Stick with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why she needs you more than you need her, and how to reclaim the frame of leadership that women deeply crave but will never admit. Point 1. The hidden problem: why men lose power. Most men don't lose power in a relationship because women steal it. They lose it because they hand it over willingly, often without even realizing it. From the time you were a boy, you were spoon-fed the cultural slogan, "Happy wife, happy life." At first glance, it sounds harmless, even noble. But here's the catch: where in that phrase is your happiness, your standards, or your mission? It's nowhere. Because the entire idea trains men to believe that their value only exists when they're serving someone else's needs. Think about it. Men are told to chase endlessly, to prove their worth, to shower women with gifts, compliments, and attention, while quietly ignoring their own boundaries and purpose. And here's the harsh reality: the more you give away in desperation, the less she values what you're offering. Respect isn't won through begging, it's earned through presence, strength, and discipline. Ever notice how the guy who sacrifices everything for approval gets ignored, while the man who keeps his frame is the one women whisper about? That's no accident. Attraction is built on polarity, and polarity requires strength. When you stop leading, she stops respecting. And without respect, attraction slowly withers. If attention really equaled love, every man who double-tapped her Instagram selfies would already have a wedding ring on her finger. But reality doesn't work that way. The hidden problem is clear: men don't lose power because women take it. They lose it because they surrender it. Point 2. The cause: how society trains men to be weak. Now let's pull back the curtain and ask, why do so many men end up powerless in the first place? The answer is simple, but dangerous: conditioning. Society and media have been quietly programming men for decades. From sitcoms to Hollywood blockbusters, from commercials to school lessons, the same script is hammered into your mind. She's the prize. You're lucky if she picks you. Do whatever it takes to keep her. Think about nearly every romantic movie you've seen. The man is presented as incomplete until he wins the girl. He sacrifices his career, his friendships, even his identity, just to earn her approval. And on screen, it looks charming. But in reality, it breeds weakness. It trains men to measure their worth not by their mission, but by a woman's validation. Here's the paradox: women don't actually want that kind of man. They say they want attention, affection, and effort, but deep down, what they crave is leadership, confidence, and direction. A man who orbits his entire existence around her loses the very qualities that drew her in to begin with. Biology doesn't lie. A woman is instinctively attracted to a man who stands firm, who has vision, who doesn't fold under pressure. A man who abandons his mission for her? He kills attraction at the root. And here's the kicker: this lie benefits everyone except you. It keeps men weak, compliant, and confused. But in a moment, I'll reveal the truth society hides from you, the part that flips the entire power dynamic upside down. Point 3. The truth: she needs you more than you need her. Here's where the curtain finally gets ripped down. She needs you more than you need her. Now, at first that may sound arrogant or dismissive, but it's not. It's a truth grounded in history, biology, and psychology. For thousands of years, civilizations were built and defended by men. Men carved roads, built empires, fought wars, and created order out of chaos. Women, in turn, chose men who could provide direction, protection, and stability. That reality hasn't magically disappeared just because we now have smartphones and grocery delivery apps. The instinct is still there, wired deep into human nature. Even in today's modern world, women are naturally drawn to men who display strength, calmness, and leadership. They want a man who knows where he's going, because that gives them the safety to follow without fear. When a man is anchored in his mission, when he doesn't fold under emotional storms, he becomes rare. And rarity is power. Here's the paradox. When a man forgets this truth and puts her on a pedestal, she unconsciously loses respect. Why? Because deep down, she doesn't want another fan, she wants a leader. She tests you not because she wants you weak, but because she needs to know you're unshakable. And notice this, the men women chase the hardest are never the ones who are desperate. They're the ones who remain calm, detached, and self-assured. But here's where it gets interesting. In the next point, I'll show you exactly how to reclaim this masculine frame and live as the prize she craves. Point 4. The solution: reclaiming your masculine frame. So now that you understand the truth, the question becomes, what do you actually do about it? The solution lies in one thing: reclaiming your masculine frame. The masculine frame is more than body language or confidence tricks. It's a mindset, a way of living, where your mission comes first and everything else aligns behind it. When you lead with purpose, you naturally draw respect. When you abandon purpose for approval, you lose it. Picture two men at the same party. One follows a woman around, desperate for her attention, constantly checking if she's laughing at his jokes. The other? He's calm, telling stories, engaging with everyone, fully at ease. He's not ignoring women, he's simply not orbiting them. Guess which one she notices? This isn't about arrogance or cold detachment. It's about self-possession. A man with a strong frame doesn't need to prove his value. He carries it. And women feel it instantly. They don't consciously say, "Oh, he's in his masculine frame." They just know something about him feels stable, magnetic, safe. But here's the urgent truth: if you don't reclaim your frame, she will test you harder, push you further, until either you break, or she walks away. Respect, once lost, is almost impossible to rebuild. That's why the time to step back into your frame is now, not later. Point 5. The payoff: living as the prize. When you embrace the reality that you are the prize, everything changes. Your entire energy shifts. You stop chasing validation because you realize your value isn't determined by her approval. It's determined by your mission, your discipline, your presence. Suddenly, rejection doesn't scare you. Why? Because you're not begging to be chosen, you're doing the choosing. Standards rise. Weak boundaries disappear. And ironically, that's when women become more loyal, more invested, more attracted. Here's the paradox most men miss: the less you need her, the more she needs you. Because strength is rare. Calmness under pressure is rare. A man who can walk away instead of folding? That's nearly extinct. And scarcity creates value. So the payoff of reclaiming your power isn't just healthier relationships. It's a completely different identity. You no longer think, "Does she like me?" Instead you ask, "Does she deserve me?" And that subtle shift changes everything. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Once you start living as the prize, you'll notice women reveal themselves in ways you never caught before. In fact, one of the biggest giveaways happens the very first moment of contact: how she greets you. And that, my friend, is a whole other level of truth. So here's the bottom line: she needs you more than you need her. Not because she's weak. Not because you're superior. But because the masculine frame you bring into a relationship is rare, valuable, and irreplaceable. Now it's time to reclaim your crown. Stop chasing. Start choosing. Live as the prize. I want to hear from you. Drop your story in the comments. Have you ever lost power in a relationship and realized it too late? Or maybe you reclaimed it and saw everything shift? I'll be reading and responding. And if you want to see the hidden signals women give when they secretly like you, tap the end screen now. That next video will open your eyes to the subtle greetings that reveal everything. Because once you understand how she greets you, you'll never look at women the same way again.